back with the Infinite Frontier era of DC Comics, and we have the first installment of the Batman 106 era of The Cowardly Lot. And I got the wraparound variant by George Jimenez, so clearly that means I have taste. And this is once again under James Tyrion the Fourth, and artwork by George Jimenez and colored by Morney. I'm pretty sure I butchered that name wrong. I'm sorry, no offense. But once again, we're getting another Batman epic in this because apparently this is they're going to have this in two hardcovers. So I'll just wait till the full collection's out. So it seems like this is a big epic event they're doing. Also, if you notice in the when you first get the cover, when you first get the stuff, it's announced in solicitations that this also features a short story featuring Robin, aka Damian Wayne, who's not being Robin, written by Joshua Williamson. So this is part of that DC strategy in the wake of this new era, and they also did this with Future State, where they have these short little stories, these like couple of pages worth of stories told in the background that's going on in order to not make a full run series of it or be preludes to series, which led to that high price $1 high price hike like for some, which some people didn't want to hear. But if we may get more content, okay, I'm willing to be forgiving on that. So yeah, I had debated about whether or not I should talk about the short story, since this will lead into Robin's ongoing by Joshua Williamson. So I was like, yeah, let's talk about that, but it's still going to be primarily a Batman video with, well, the Bat family involved. So we got more solicitations going on, and then we cut into The Cowardly Lot by James Tyrion the Fourth. Keep your mind focused, sober, clear. Remember what's at stake. Remember your training. Remember all the times you beat your children for some strange reason. Mostly because the writers don't get me. Remember all the enablements. Put the pieces together in the right order and you can get out of here. Remember everyone you failed. Remember the bodies laying on the cold pavement floor. Remember their thick, wet blood. No! Those aren't those thoughts! Those don't even sound like your thoughts! Don't let him break in. Don't let him break your concentration. Start from the beginning, damn it. So yeah, clearly this is Bruce Wayne trapped by, well, what we revealed, the Cowardly Lot, the Scarecrow, who I mentioned in the Infinite Frontier one shot, which will be now a 6-part miniseries. I'll talk about that on my New Reality Collective podcast. Um, the Scarecrow has essentially been transformed into cyberpunk steampunk attitude with fear toxins in his bloodstream essentially, and they do seem to allude that he's half dead and half alive, or he's dead and alive. But yeah, Scarecrow comes in as Bruce Wayne tries to resist the basically Clockwork Orange style torture. Please take your seats. Silence your devices. Redirect your attention to the front of the class. The lecture is about to begin. Ah, so already you are the best teacher we ever had. You will force the students to listen to you or fear toxin them. And nowadays, a lot of kids need some discipline. My name is Dr. Jonathan Crane. You are here today to learn the profound effect fear has on the human body and mind. Dr. Jonathan Crane, you are a great revolutionary biologist and chemical expert. We start our lesson with the most important question. Why do we fear? Batman tries to ignore him by simply narrating to himself, tune him out. Don't let him hear. Let his voice into your head. You just need to focus. Where did it start? Was it Arkham? The gas attack? The explosion? No. That was before. I was driving. And a woman's voice asked if I was sure this was my city. Or was that another voice? Another woman? Oh God, I'm tripping balls. Or was it him? His voice. Sounds like needles scraping the inside of my skull. I can't stop myself from listening. You can't stop yourself from listening, Batman. It is okay. It's natural to succumb to fear. It's human, and it's necessary. So this is the thing. So do I have to quote John Cena and once again bring up the whole fears and emotion we all have it, but cowardice is the decision? I'm pretty sure Batman needs a John Cena to save his life. That's the whole point of this. That's what I'm trying to teach you. Without fear, there's no hope of evolution. Here, let me show you. And he begins to pierce and torture Bruce Wayne. Push through the papers. Remember, start on the road. And a woman's voice was telling you. And we cut back to the past, seemingly, of old Gotham. Batman, I'm clocking you in at 97 miles per hour. You'll be in position to intercept the Insanity Collective in about 2 minutes. As long as you don't hit anything, I hope your pre-crash systems are programmed to think faster than you do. Oh, Barbara, aka Oracle, you certainly like to be snarky. You know this car doesn't have collision avoidance systems anymore, Oracle. I took out another one of those computer hubs to fit the larger engine. I hoped you didn't take out the airbags. I would have if it would have made the car any faster. Tell me who the collective hit tonight. So I'm not going to pronounce this guy's name, but his last name's Cole. CEO and owner of the Gotham Gazette. My police tracker says they're estimating about $36 million in stolen artwork. Nice pieces too. I saw most of them when they were on loan to the Whitney in New York last spring. So another media mogul in the fifth in the last week? Has their leader weighed in yet? The self-stylized Master Wiz? It's the same thing he's been saying for months now. Arkham has fallen, and now Gotham must grapple with the madness gripping the streets. The only way to reject the past and embrace a new kind of sanity to pave the way forward. Join the Unsanity Collective. Join the new Gotham City. I'm going to try and keep diverting traffic to keep them pinned in an old town neighborhood, but that's only going to work on the ground team. Unless that car has a few tricks up its sleeve, I'm not sure how you're going to get the rest of them. Hey, MM! So this is the so who's MM? Well, she hasn't fully shown up yet in this issue. She gets a cameo, so to speak, but this is Miracle Molly. She's set to show up in a later issue in the Cowardly Lot storyline. With it, I will hopefully get an Artgerm variant because, by God, Artgerm is awesome. So sue me. We got Tail. Oh, the pointy-eared kind. We knew this was bound to happen eventually. Stay calm. Stay cool. We practice what to do in this situation. Remember, you have the advantage. Advantage? He's Batman. Yeah, this is okay. So this is the weird thing. So normally when you censor, you usually have these bunch of letters and numbers involved, but now they're just using bat symbols. So I get the feeling what the cursing word is supposed to be like, he's the goddamn Batman. And Miracle Molly just says, stay strong, Mikey. He's still just much of a part of what's broken in the city as everyone else. He doesn't see things like we do yet. But he will. I'm going out to the rest of them. You don't have a crash avoidance system, but you have an autopilot? No room for artificial intelligence, just remote steering. Leave it like a really big, really fast remote control car. Keep tailing the ground team, and remember, try not to hit anything. And he fires his grappling gun onto the ship, and thus escape while breaking through the window, much to everyone's annoyance. Also, every time I'm looking at George Jimenez's artwork for Gotham, it's so cyberpunk noir. Like, does anyone else get that? Does anyone else get the vibe that, and especially with this Unsanity Collective and Miracle Molly's design that you'll see in the Artgerm variant later down the road, it looks like it's a cyberpunk Gotham City and not really Gotham City. You know, the place where you want to go ahead and blow it up because it's all that messed up. Looks like the bat's peeling off. Oh, thank God. I'm all about insanity, but I really didn't want to get punched by Batman tonight. Well, young man, you happen to be in luck. You know, I reached out to you for an assist almost 30 minutes ago. Oh, Barbara is pissed. Well, you know, Oracle, so much of this fun of this job is the drama of it. And the Ghostmaker likes to make an entrance. So, yeah, Ghostmaker is now Batman's bro. Bro, man. He's a bro. And, yeah, this Ghostmaker seems different from, like, what we were seeing in the last storyline. Why is Ghostmaker so cartoony at times? Like, he's trying, like, he sees crime fighting as an artwork. I get that. But the character we got in the Ghost stories is not the same character we're getting in this issue. Like, he still has this challenging Batman thing, but, like, yeah, I'm still confused by his characterization all of a sudden taking this massive 180. So, anyways, Batman tells Ghostmaker, don't kill anybody. I promise to only maim. Don't maim anybody either. That's my job. Ghostmaker, they're thieves, not killers. Incapacitate them and rendezvous on my mark. Then Batman lands on top of the makeshift ship, and, well, one of the Insanity Collective says, don't mess with this, Batman! We're the future of Gotham City! And he gets decked in the face for that. Yeah, that sounds about right. And one of the Insanity members go ahead and say, oh, shit. And tries to take a shot at Batman only to get the gun hit out, but Batman still gets struck from behind. But he then orders, bring down the glider. Now. Oh, this is over. No, no. Master Wiz says this is only the beginning. The people are going to see what the Insanity has to offer them. I said, bring it down. Now. And he goes ahead and has the incapacitated goons ordering the glider to be rung down. Oh, Batman. So anyways, we cut to Robinson Park with Mikey, what's your status? Did you shake him? This is Batman. I'm the goddamn Batman. Your friends are going to prison. I'm not gonna let you get away with terrorizing the city any longer. Miracle Kamali responds, are you so sure this is your city anymore, Batman? The cops are already on their way. You think they're gonna come to thank you? Ooh. Ghostmaker then arrives onto the scene in his ghost cycle, because I'm pretty sure that's what he's calling it. I have two unconscious, unnamed art thieves. What precisely do you want to do with them when you leave them alive? Just tie them up and hope for the best? Yes, boys, I think it may be time to make yourself scarce. Sparring session back at the garage, then? I bet I can beat you back to the townhouse, no vehicles. I'll take that bet. What just happened? No, this is the thing that confuses me. He suddenly is so off. Is he secretly been replaced by a clone? Actually, that would make so much sense. Then they start to race off. Meanwhile, we hear someone saying, we see Harley Quinn making her run to the bank. Come on, Harles. Just a little bit further. Missed it again. So, yeah, Harley Quinn is naturally pissed off and says to herself, they say, keep on the straight and narrow, Harley. We're so proud of you, Harley. We love you so damn much. But we won't ever give you a break. Hey, how the hell can these hero types afford cars and motorcycles and magic grappling guns while robbing banks every other minute? Bruce is a millionaire, so he can still afford some things. I mean, like, he can't use that money, so he's probably... Actually, he kind of would be stealing it. I think the most important thing I want you to understand is how much I love this city. I chose to build my company in the heart of Silicon Valley, but I dreamed of bringing Saint Industries to Gotham for almost 2 decades. So we see Simon Saint going ahead and tending to some birds while he gives a presentation to somebody. You see, I was raised in a worn-down walk-up in Tri-Corner yards before the neighborhood industrialized. It was a hard scrabble pressure cooker of a city even then, but it always made the most of its citizens. I often looked up to Thomas Wayne, the wealthiest man in Gotham, who decided to dedicate his life to its people as a physician. It used to be that people shaped by Gotham's fire were the envy of the free world, But here's how the rest of the world sees Gotham today. Would you ever move to Gotham City? And what, get murdered by a clown? Oh man, that's funny. You're a funny guy. Hey, they could offer me $1 million and I wouldn't move there. Or, I don't even want to visit Gotham. They never should have rebuilt it after the whole earthquake thing. So they remember the whole disaster that was Gotham City's war games. And then they also remember No Man's Land. And we get one more commentator. No! Oh, and can you blame them? Look at the last few years. The city's been held in a constant grip of madmen, mayhem, and murder have all become too common. And now, after the great tragedy in Arkham Asylum, it's all full of madness, contained inside is spilling out onto the streets. The city has a clown gang problem, and may not be able to keep one of the ringleaders of the Joker War behind bars. Punchline. Though I do question where did he get the reused shot of George Jimenez's artwork of Punchline talking to Joker on the phone. We're not gonna get an answer for that. Does he have cameras everywhere? Or like the Insanity Collective Master Wiz, like, okay, yeah, he'd been broadcasting so they could take a screenshot, but Clown Hunter and Punchline, I'm just like, it's just that it's a small detail, I know, but it's still kind of annoying. Like, they don't have cameras, or Simon's, in fact, wouldn't this be like a plot point for Punchline's camera, for Punchline to be seen? Like, they could have used the whole video to emphasize it. And he continues to preach. Homicidal teenage vigilantes have taken to murdering their enemies in cold blood, so he did not reform. Got it. And now, a new terror is gripping Gotham in the form of a mysterious Master Wiz and his Insanity Collective. And to the people of the world, what does it seem like this great city has chosen to do about all this? Sit on its hands and wait for another unsanctioned vigilante to clean up the mess, despite the fact the city has only gotten more dangerous since he first emerged. Well, Batman is an enabler, so he might as well be a criminal. Forgive the pointed question, Mayor Nakano. Oh, I know you used to be with the Gotham City Police Department, but when was the last time your officers successfully thwarted a major supervillain attack without Batman? Well, there was the Gotham Central story, but I don't think that was. But it was more like dealing with the repercussions that is the Batman's involvement and everything. But the mayor just says, Batman really gives us the opportunity to do what we could, Mr. Saint. Respectfully, I disagree. The GCPD, like every other police force in the country, was created to help people and stop mundane crimes. If you're going to stop the extraordinary crimes, you're going to need extraordinary, accountable crime fighters. And we get his teeth for future state, which is why I've designed what I call the Magistry Program. It features a dedicated group of 1 to 5 specifically chosen peacekeepers to deputize the city. Yes, the peacekeepers. One of them kills Batman in the future past story that happens, and like, it's confusing, isn't it? Apparently, Bruce Wayne's death was faked, and yeah, that was the complicated mess. And judging by that guy whose arms and leg blew off from the events that was, well, that Infinite Frontier story, I gotta ask, and this is just a theory. Is he one of the peacekeepers? Like, even the George Jimenez design and on the back suggests that is the case over here with the orange hair and all that. So it seems like he's like partly blaming Batman, or he's been reconstituted by Simon Saint. Anyways, he explains his Magistry Program. It gives them the support and resources to stop a Bane or a Joker or whoever might try to destroy Gotham City next. What about nature? Can you kill the earthquakes? Can the Magistry kill the Grimace? Nothing will kill the Grimace. Anyways, my program would allow the GCPD to focus on the sort of petty crime a police officer was designed to face, leaving all the costumeability to us. The city's growing fast, Mayor. The rebuild of Gotham that started last year created thousands of new jobs in the metropolitan area. The city is expanding faster than it has in 50 years. 50 years! But Batman isn't enough anymore. He has let too much slip through cracks. I came east to set up a pilot of my magistracy program in one of the major cities of the country. Other cities are laying down the tax incentives that would make it worth it, but Gotham City is special. I was born here. I remember what it was like before Batman lost control. I know what it could be again. Well, Mr. Saint, I wish your argument wasn't as compelling as it is. I don't know that we'll be able to match the incentives is you're asking for, but I promise I'll talk it through with my advisors. I appreciate that very much. Ricardo, please see these nice men out. Thank you so much for coming to Saint Industries. I hope we'll be seeing you all again very soon. And as that goes, then the thing zooms out to see the Scarecrow is perverting, looking through the rooftops like a crazy person because he thinks he's Batman. Though I like, again, his design, I keep thinking it's impractical for this kind of thing. So I don't know how he's even doing this. So we cut to Fort Gray, and we see news reporters coming in. Okay, I think this is it. Let's start filming, and I can knock on the door. Mr. Wayne isn't taking news reporters right now. He's not going to let anybody get the story of how one of the richest men on the planet lost it all and started slumming it in the city with the rest of these normal people. So people, keep showing up and irritating your neighbors. You call this slumming it? Don't twist my words. I'm just saying that before Wayne moved in, all the other neighbors knew each other's names. Now we get nosy reporters and paparazzi all the hours of the day. I hope Bruce Wayne starts making an effort to be part of this community, and you can quote me on that. My name is Potter. Edmund Potter. Okay, yeah, I can work with that. Ex-billionaire Bruce Wayne alienates his new neighbors. He doesn't even know their names. Oh, he does. He knows them. He just spies on them with his cameras. Old Man Potter's at it again. And I think he waits for the reporters to show up before he goes for his evening walks. Of course he does. He hates you. You're twice as rich as he is, despite having just very publicly lost all your money, and now he gets to be reminded about it every day. You act like you haven't had neighbors before. I think the house next door to Wingman is almost a full mile away. And when I've lived in the city before, I owned the entire building. Just imagine how much more he hate you if he knew what you were passing off as a Batcave these days. This is all I need right now. I'm prioritizing mini caves around the city. All I need is the garage here. You also need to remember you don't have a butler anymore. I mean, it's not like your butler had his neck snapped brutally in front of your son. No offense. You have to clean up after yourself. I will, when I'm done looking at the Insanity Collective crime spree. In a few years, then. Okay, what is wrong with you, man? Why did Ghostmaker's... Okay, I get Ghostmaker would follow Batman's ruling just for this part of this new deal, but, why is he acting more out of character, I feel? Oh. And then, this is the thing that annoyed me the most. So, when we first saw him in Ghost Stories, he had half his face covered. I kept thinking, is he part Asian, part African? I kept thinking he was African-Asian descent, and from the way his design looked. But no, they just, instead of making this a big moment, like he could have removed his mask or something, no, they just have him have it off. Like it was no big deal. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, God. So, yeah, I was confused. I kept thinking he was African-Asian descent. Here, he looks just African-American. Or just African descent. And he's having boxing gloves and is dressing like he's right, and has sweatpants that say peace. And I'm like, what? You're not going to spar with me. I'm going to leave and find something exciting to do. Maybe I'll go make friends with your old man Potter. Or make him my sidekick. Ghostmaker and Potter. What do you think? I'm going to be hilarious and make Marvel jokes in the MCU. Wait, we're in the DC universe. Aren't we supposed to be bleak and depressing? I'm not saying this is a problem, but it seems like this just, a very rushed character development going on for him. It just feels so rushed and out of nowhere. So Batman then gets up and says, Alan Grayville, CEO of the Gotham Broadcasting System. Michael Shea, co-owner of the Gotham News Network. Victoria Hart, heir to the Gotham Globe publishing fortune. And Winham Mark, owner of WXGC Radio, and now co at the Gazette. Perhaps as a kind of punishment, the Insanity Collector hasn't been exactly getting glowing coverage from the local press. This will only harden earn that coverage in a way that will hurt them. And they continue to box each other out while conversing. They'll be painting us far more dangerous than they are. It's already high enough to the attack on Arkham Asylum, which is not at all your fault, you enabling bastard. Sensationalist stories about dangerous new high-tech gang will only ratchet that tension up. Somebody's using them to attack the people who control the mood of Gotham. What do they want? They want to make the city afraid. Meanwhile, the mayor's mansion is currently up and drive. Remind me in the morning. I want to put an end to this whole Simon Saint project straight away. Something's eerie about that man. And I mean, like, he just goes ahead and preaches about weirdness and goes all philosophically cultish on us. I swear, the whole time we're sitting there, it was like something was itching in the inside of my brain. We don't need him or his majesty. Yes, sir. He enters his mansion and then prepares to watch some television. And before realizing, oh Lord, what now? Oh yeah, this evening Batman went head-to-head with the controversial Insanity Collective after they robbed the home of Gotham Gazette owner Assassin Cole. With rising clown violence in the city, dangerous new criminal groups emboldened, and in the aftermath of the gas attack on Arkham Asylum, polling shows that people are on the edge. Gotham has not felt this unsafe since the heyday of the Falcone crime family, and the days before Batman first emerged onto the scene. New Mayor Christopher Monaco's approval ratings are already slipping as Gotham Knights all over ask themselves, what dangerous madman will come for our city next? And the comic and the Batman story ends with Scarecrow emerging behind the mayor while he takes a drink of alcohol, and he's all perched up like he's a crucifix Scarecrow model. Okay, how did he do that? Like, it's already weird enough that his design, while awesome, is so impractical. How is he able to perch on rooftops and then also stealthily enter buildings without being detected, especially since, he's latched to a Scarecrow tower? Next issue, Fair in the Streets. So anyways, we cut away from that to go to the Robin story. Far from Gotham in the rogue nation of Markovia. So this is the thing. So this is the thing I wanted to ask. Is Leviathan still running things? Yeah, they were gonna have a storyline by Bendis because he was going to do that. He created Leviathan, the character. So it was like they were gonna do this whole storyline where Leviathan has control of Markovia, and they had a story planned, but then they canceled it. So it's like, is Markovia still around under the control of Leviathan? Is Brion back in power? Did Markovia, still under control of Leviathan while the real leaders of the world are, not doing a thing about it? But anyway, some guys decked out in CIA-like gear is taken down with one of the agents saying, "Holy," and then gets struck down. Meanwhile, Talia al Ghul, who was part of the Leviathan's group for a time, and so I get the feeling there is a connection going on, is currently drinking some tea before she notices a presence. When you were 6 years old, you snuck up on a member of the League of Assassins and cut his ear off, just to prove we could never hear you coming. I sensed you here because you wanted me to. Then she just looks like, we're having this conversation again. You are just as theatrical as your father. I'm nothing like my father. I am born of the night. My father is a failure, a boy forever trapped in an alley. Batman has let his ways hold himself, his family, and his city back. Let them fall into ruin. Okay. I tried to live and learn from him, but now I've escaped. I am free. And Damian Wayne shows up, and his outfit is so stupid. Like, oh my god, this is something I would expect from the Joel Schumacher Batman movies design. Talia, I have come to take back my role as grandson of the immortal Ra's al Ghul, heir to the demon throne. So, this is the thing that bugged me about the design, about the edit. So this might be minor, but it's still kind of a major notice. He says this: Talia, I have come back to take my role as he grandson. And I'm like, did the letter make it accidentally forgot to add a T? So I just went with as the grandson of the immortal Raja Ghul, heir to the demon throne. Whether you like it or not, mother. So Talia hugs Damian and says, "It's good to see you, Damian. Even though I tried to convince you to come back to me countless times, and each time you chose your father, I respected your desire to explore your birthright to be a bat. It's disappointing you finally returned in defeat." Damon and Detective, Part 1. Defeat, Mother? I rejected Batman. And what do you have to show for it? You promised me you'd be at least a worthy adversary. You have no resources, no money, no home. You have no Bruce, Alfred, or the rest of that family to go to. Even those teenagers you worked for are out of reach. You say you are free, and yet you ran to your mother. How uninspired. Like the baby bird who tried to fly on its own too early, you went crashing down to the earth. However, I'm here to pick you up and return you to the nest. But first, are these assassins with you? I assume they were your guards. Oh god, so Talia and Damien are stupid right now. They never thought, why are these guys with weird glows on them suddenly here? I don't recall ever seeing these guys. Greetings, Talia, daughter of the demon. It is time for you to prove yourself to the League of the Lazarus. You must be tested. The League of what? And the battle has begun. How about we save this bedtime story for after we kill them, my dear boy? And she slits several of their throats. While Damien goes to town on another with blades and weaponry, but he's not necessarily killing them. He's taking them down and starts kicking them. Talia comments, "You didn't learn that move from your father. You taught me when I was 4. Oh, that's great. Your moves honor your senses, boy, as the Leo Lazarus are taken down by Damian. But will it be enough to stop me from drawing demon blood? Kill him." Okay, so this is the thing. Talia's under the has a knife to her throat, and she's just like, I don't care. I'm probably gonna die, but I'll probably be back in 2 weeks. What are you waiting for, Damian? Kill him now. And Damian hesitates, saying, and then we get a splash noise with blood. Jamaica Dade and Detective Comics 1034. And that's the end of the Batman 106 era and the Robin tale. Well, overall, this was a good issue. The artwork by George Jimenez is freaking phenomenal, and I demand more of this content. And the story was pretty good, though it looks like this is probably going to be a much bigger issue than a much bigger storyline regarding the Cowardly Lot than it is. While the Demon or Detective story is primarily going to be a 2-part small anthology series with Detective Comics, and ultimately succumb to the temptations that is Robin. So I'm being dramatic, yeah. So yeah, it does seem like something basically go down with Damian, and he is set to have his Robin story ongoing with Josh Williamson at the helm. But I'm just like thinking to myself, okay, Batman, you were unable to kill 500 people in Gotham. You probably did fight the Suicide Squad in the second issue, so we're not going to talk about that yet. I mean, like, you could, but that would spoil Suicide Squad number 2, probably. And I'm curious to know what the other members of the Bat family are doing. Like, we don't see Catwoman. She's currently off rescuing Poison Ivy. Last time we saw her be pre Future State stories. And then I'm just thinking to myself, it would be interesting to see where the other guys are doing. Nightwing's off rescuing a dog. Barbara's helping Batman out, so we know that. But where is Tim Drake? Where's Spoiler? Where's Cassandra Cain? Batgirl. Where are they? Come on, I want to see them. I know Punchline's gonna have fun with Joker in the Joker story that's coming out. Oh, yeah, we're in a world where the Joker gets his second volume story in over, I don't even know. It's probably been decades since Joker had his own ongoing. So yeah, uh, Batman 106 was a great story. I'm looking forward to how this story progresses as everything starting to fit together in continuity again. We'll have to see what goes down in Suicide Squad number 2 just to know if Batman shows up in there. But right now, George Jimenez. Why did I say George Jimenez? I tried to stop myself. Sorry, but George Jimenez. When I say George, I don't mean George with a J. I mean George with a G. But George Jimenez's artwork is to be credited as awesome and vibrant, and also, like I said, it just gives this more of a cyberpunk environment feel with Gotham City instead of the rundown. Oh my God, how is the city not blown itself up yet? Because Joker wants to save Gotham in his own twisted vision, as in he's not going to blow it up because it's too much fun to be here, but he'll blow up Metropolis because Batman's too much trying to give Joker a challenge. Oh yeah, I'm still mad about what happened in Justice Year Zero, Batman. Thank you, hero. So this was a great first issue of the Batman era of 106 to God knows how many issues the Cowardly Lot's actually going to be. We'll have to see more as time goes on. But for now, this was Neo Reality Entertainment presenting Pop Culture Omniversa. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, check out my other content in the description below. I'll see you all again for next time. And peace out, everyone. Take care.